Hi, my name is Vince, also known as President Kenobi on the internet, and I have the greatest beard in all of esports entertainment. I've recently been invited to Paris by Konami France to play in a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament to promote Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. This video is brought to you by and sponsored by Konami. Being the shiny 21-year-old golden god that I am, with real determination, delusions of grandeur, and gamer credentials, I thought, how hard could it possibly be to enter a Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament with no prior experience?
You can summon something! No! Don't no!
If you too think you have what it takes to banish your opponent to the Shadow Realm or die trying, there's a link in the description below to help you get involved with Duel Links. Whether you are new to the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! As a whole, or as a returning player, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links is a great way to be able to dive right in, be brought up to speed on the new mechanics through the in-game tutorials and how the game plays, and also be able to play on the move. That's right, Duel Links is available on mobile as well as on PC, unlike other leading card games and their digital platforms. So you're probably wondering how much Yu-Gi-Oh! I had played up until this point. Absolutely none. Zero. I make videos about card games and primarily Magic. I'd been sent Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards in the post before by viewers and opened some of those videos on stream as well. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is wild. What is going on? But I am a total noob. For those of you who don't know, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a trading card game that grew in popularity due in no small part to its accompanying anime. I've never seen a single episode, but through meme-based osmosis, I do indeed know what a pot of greed does. I played a grand total of 4 games on Duel Links before I headed over to France, simply because I didn't have the time to prep any further. I've been told that I don't actually have to have any prior knowledge of Yu-Gi-Oh! Before the event. It's a casual event, a casual tournament, and the aim is to show how easy the game is to pick up. Right, with 4 matches under my belt and a visual guide put together by my patron Colligan, big shout out to Colligan there for the help, I was ready to head out to Paris and banish some unsuspecting opponents with my big, dark magician energy. So I've walked approximately 5 blocks to find the most French-looking street I could to channel my inner Casey Neistat to do a vlog. So people are looking at me very weirdly as I've put my camera up on a bench and talking to it in front of a street that looks at least mildly French. Paris is a lot like London, just with more French people. And it's prettier as well. London's an ugly city when you look at other capital cities like this. I have been to the great country of France and Paris before. I came here for a romantic getaway last year. This year I'm here to play cards, take names, you know, chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of gum. But before I get my blue eyes white dragon on, I guess I'm just going to go and get a coffee and do some touristy stuff. Wish me luck. I was going to make a joke about banishing people to the Shadow Realm there, but I realised I've probably made that joke already in this video. I can't make that joke a second time. One specific piece of tourism that's attracted me from all my heavy Yu-Gi-Oh! Prep is, well, French patisseries. And everyone loves a good French tart, right? So I thought I'd get myself a nice French tart. So, let's open this up. Oh, I'm very bad at using one hand. Oh, would you look at that glorious little tart? Eh? Look at that. The reason I'm filming this on my phone and not my camera is I couldn't bother to get my camera back out my bag after I got back to the hotel. So here we are, filming on my phone. Too excited. I'm too excited to eat this lovely tartlet. Oh. It's one of my favourite things in the world. Lemon tarts. That lime's not jellied enough, I guess. Instead of turning this into a mukbang video, perhaps we should play some Yu-Gi-Oh! Right, Yu-Gi-Oh! We are randomly allocated deck lists, pre-constructed lists put together by an expert that had objectives of making the deck accessible to new players, conforming to the anime, and being playable. So here's a deck tech for a Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck by someone who's played 4 games of Yu-Gi-Oh! Total in their life. So my game plan is to special summon a load of minions onto the board early, then use what people are calling a tuner to then synchro summon a big scary dragon. Now I spoke to several people at the event, several experts as it were, and got a lot of conflicting advice. A couple told me that my game plan should be to synchro summon this thing, whilst others were like, nah fam, you want this thing. Of course I just smiled and nodded. okay. Both of these cards are summoned from a second bonus deck, by the way, something you don't have in Magic. Other differences to Magic? Well, everything is in the thousands in terms of numbers. You start like 4,000 HP. There's no mana, but you are restricted on essentially only casting one creature a turn, barring other special ways to summon. All creatures effectively have haste, and when you attack their monsters, not their face. If a monster dies, well, surprise, turns out everything has trample. Yeah, my deck has a robot cowboy in it and some hamsters with rockets on the back. It's pretty wild, and I cannot possibly lose. So here we are, we're at like an esports arena in Paris, and I'm going to be playing some Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links with my cowboy hamster tribal deck, and hopefully I'm going to cowboy the ever-loving Sugar Puffs out of them.
No, he's not going to bother with Quick Draw Synchron. No, or he might do. You could see the cogs whirring. That is the brain of a man who's played a lot of card games in his life.
I think he's slowly accepting that he should have normal summoned the level warrior. He can summon the Junk Berserker if he normal summons the Junk Synchron.
You're right, he can. So that might be a move worth doing. Is he going to see that play? See, look. Go to your extra deck. I think maybe the pressure's got to Pleasant Kenobi a little bit
Possibly.
here. He's forgotten all of the strategies he was discussing last night and this morning. Don't end your turn. You can summon something. No. Don't. No. Okay, this is tragic.
No, Pleasant Kenobi.
F's in chat, guys.
Yeah.
You see, what happened here was, when I played my games to like get used to the UI and learn the basic rules of Yu-Gi-Oh!, the deck that I played with on the client didn't have a bonus deck. So for my first 2 turns in my first match playing this deck ever, I couldn't find the synchro summons. It's kind of obvious looking at the screen now. I mean, I've probably put an arrow on screen, but yeah, I didn't find it until a couple turns too late. Okay, so I played my first round, very fun. I got to dab when I won one of the best of 3. I made some mistakes, some hideous mistakes. I didn't understand some of the things. At one point I attacked, but I thought I'd kill their creature, and I didn't. My creature died and I took damage, so that was new. I didn't realise that I couldn't use the trap that sacrifices one of their creatures to synchro summon from my extra deck. I couldn't use it in their turn. The game prompts you to, much like Magic does. It allows you to make mistakes. And now they're just turning the lights off while I block. Look at this. He works for Konami and he's ruining it. So I can't use that in their turn, but the game prompts you to allow you to. So it's much like Magic where you can cast spells that don't do anything at a certain time. So I fudged that one up. I did get a really sweet blowout where my opponent sunk loads of resources into a big dragon, and then I got to blow it out with a removal spell.
Is he going to make the mistake? No, he's not. Come on, activate it. You know you want to. Yes, activate effect.
Yes, let's
There it
go
is.
with
What
this.
a play. Look at that! Julia Bayonetta devastated by that move. Really good play from Pleasant Kenobi, who, with a kind of, a gentle tilt of the head there, knowing that he's made quite a good little judgment call there.
And then my first game I fumbled, didn't know what I was doing. My second game became a game of limited where I just had to beat down with creatures. And then my third game, well, I don't think I could have done anything. My deck sort of just itself. I just drew all these cards that didn't really come together. I've got to sacrifice tuner cards, and I don't think I have enough in the deck because it's not optimized. So I tried my best. So I fumbled badly, won a game, and then got lucky. So don't want to put it outside of my own hands, my performance, but I did get to dab.
What a final play from Rocket Hamster as Pleasant. And there's the nod of acceptance. I want a dab as well.
I dusted myself off after my first loss, and we went again. Okay, so I've been eliminated.
Wrecked.
I didn't get through the group stages. To explain why, well, yeah, my deck. I didn't think that the ability that my character had, which like pumps the attacking front end of warrior type creatures, was working. Turns out it only pumps certain warrior types, synchron warrior types. So I'm glad I learned that now. Live. In a tournament. I can't really complain though, I could have done more prep, I could have tried practicing a little bit more than I did. So that's really on me and not on anyone else. I didn't draw any tuners again. People in the Twitch chat apparently were even commenting that I needed to draw tuners to actually do something. Tuners are part of the combo. It's a door. It's a very creaky door. Tuners are part of the combo that allows me to get these cards out of my extra deck and play these huge mammoth beaters and beat my opponent's face in. But we're only playing 3 in the deck total, the Cowboy and 2 others, because the decks are unrefined and untuned simply because we can't have these refined decks smashing into each other because new players like myself probably wouldn't know what the hell is going on. So, yeah, I'm out. But Dane, the other British YouTuber of Hearthstone and Runeterra, he has got through to the second round, or to the eliminations for the next bit, so more power to him. I think he stole a Blue Eyes White Dragon, which sounds very Yu-Gi-Oh! To me. So I'll be rooting for him. Let's see how he does, and then go from there. Let's stand this way. Let's try and get some Yu-Gi-Oh! In the background. You look different from higher up.
I do.
Okay.
That's the MySpace selfie.
It is, it's the MySpace angle. This is how old he is. I'm only 21, so I actually don't know what Facebook, what MySpace actually is. So this is Dane. He is another UK streamer. We have the English flags on our profiles, not through choice. That was just a decision made on our part.
Yeah.
And what do you stream and what do you make?
Hearthstone.
Hearthstone?
Hearthstone related wild videos. So it's the same as, is it Legacy?
Yes.
Same as
So
Legacy.
this gentleman here, we're kindred spirits. He likes to play with all the older cards that existed and still exist, and not necessarily play with the new cards that are rotating all the time. So we've bonded over that a little bit, and I've explained to him what Death and Taxes is, and his eyes glows over. Anyway,
That's normal, look for me. My eyes always glaze over.
how did you do in the tournament in the end? Well, they've just seen how you did, so I don't know why I asked that question. How do you feel it went when you got triple Dark Magicianed?
I felt helpless.
So, apparently there's a card, what was it? The Magician's Search?
I think it's like Wizard Search or Magician Search.
So this card apparently is really, really good, and everyone was like, oh, that card's so great. And there's an opportunity where it was face down on the field, and Dane had the chance, a 1 in 3 chance, I might add, of randomly picking it amongst the cards on the field to deny it, to
Yeah, you
negate
can
it.
destroy it.
Destroy it, okay. And you picked wrongly, and then you got absolutely smashed by Dark Magicians.
There's 3 Dark Magicians. I turned away for a second, and then there was 3 Dark Magicians on the table.
That sounds like a weird night out in Cardiff.
I think I had a dream about that yesterday.
Like, we were talking about this, he's had anxiety dreams about Yu-Gi-Oh! You said.
Yeah, it was hot, and then I woke up at 4 a.m. And then I couldn't remember where I was, but I remember I just woke up at Yu-Gi-Oh!
I was saying that imagine a dream where like your wife's in labour and you're like, oh, I'm sweating, I'm anxious, and she gives birth, and you take the bundle and you look down, and there's 3 babies, and they turn their heads, it's just 3 Dark Magicians crying at you. That's the kind of anxiety or premonition.
It was a premonition.
Yeah, exactly. I got smashed, just in general, really. My deck didn't do anything. I was bad. The deck was bad.
You won one.
I won one game. It was like, it felt like a draft game, or as you call it, Arena, what we call it, draft or limited magic, where I just played crappy creatures and hit them to death with them,
that was it.
as opposed to doing the synergistic combo stuff that I was meant to do.
What was it called? I want to say Psycho Summon, but it's not Psycho Summon.
No, it's Psycho. No, it's Synchro Summon.
Synchro Summon, yeah.
And I was missing my beautiful tuners that
Tuna.
I've talked about in this vlog quite a bit at this point, hopefully. But that's us out. So now we're just going to wait and see who gets into the top 4 and who wins. And yeah, then we can celebrate not a Brit taking the trophy home.
Yeah, Heineken, I think they've got in there.
Yeah, they've got. I thought it was going to be cocktails, but it's beers. I'm up for a beer after getting absolutely smashed. In the end, it was Schattenspieler from Germany that took down the tournament, and I couldn't think of a more deserving winner. He's a German Yu-Gi-Oh! YouTuber, evidently loves the game and enjoyed his time on stage, whether winning, which he did a lot of, or losing. He and Card Journalist, another German YouTuber, were also super helpful the night before the event for me, taking time to explain how my deck worked, what synchro summons actually were, as that wasn't in the tutorials that I played, what food is considered Christmas delicacies in Germany, apparently it's potato salad. It was quite the enlightening discussion. After the event, I did what any self-respecting nerd would do after a big card game tournament and went and got a nice bit of healthy fast food, and then I flew back to the UK the next day. The flights were delayed due to the storm, and my garden gate was ripped clean off its hinges, but it was nice to finally be home with my family. The event was great. I really enjoyed myself. I met some lovely people, got to experience a game I hadn't had a huge amount of time interacting with previously. It was great. Honestly, I went in expecting not to like Yu-Gi-Oh! In the slightest. To be polite, I've always been, well, apathetic towards the art style and overall aesthetic. I found it to be a little tacky, as I'm not really into anime or manga or any of that stuff. But actually, when I got to play the game, it was surprisingly deep and rich in terms of complicated interactions, strategic choices. You can bluff due to the nature of how trap cards work when you play them face down. These are instants in Magic, but they are face down until activated. I actually enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would, which was great. In some ways, the limited amount of games I played and watched reminded me of older formats in Magic. People are summoning creatures that can kill you in one shot on turns 1 through 3, the games, specifically on Duel Link as well, seem to be accelerated and supercharged compared to the slogfest of contemporary Magic matches that appear in Standard, unless you're a monster playing Mono Red, of course. It was not what I expected at all, and I was very pleasantly surprised by it all. If you're wanting to get your big Dark Magician energy on, don't forget there is a link in the description below where you can download Duel Links. I hope you enjoyed this video and my first foray into competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Hit that like button down below and drop a comment as it helps to support the channel, and I'll see you all very soon in the next video. In the meantime, drink your milk, dab on the haters, and think of me. Ta-ta for now.
It's my babe.